but he ends up making it up to Quebec City and helping to besiege the city during the winter of 1775. The attack on Quebec.
Yeah.
He's injured. He's shot for the first time in the left leg. Doesn't lose the leg, which is pretty miraculous because usually if you had a bullet wound to the leg or arm, it was coming off. But he makes a full recovery, is able to walk, ride, sail after that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very active, very, very much a patriot leader at the beginning of the war.
Okay. How about let's jump to the actual process of writing a book? Because I think kids, when they do projects at school, it's like, this won't take me very long, but I bet it's not, probably can't say the same thing for writing a book.
No, and I think when we were doing projects in school, one of the hard things is that we're always on a very fixed timeline where things we've got to be done by now because we've got to move forward, where you can take more time with the book.
Except when you have an editor and a publisher and a contract, right?
Yeah, at some point. I handwrite all of my first drafts.
Okay.
So that's how my brain works best when I'm trying to think. And so first draft, all handwritten. I try not to stop and restart because that's that problem of if I keep stopping and restarting.
Yes.
I'll
hey, you kids that erase all the time, quit doing
don't
that.
Don't erase. And then it eventually will go to the computer. I edit in between. I make changes as I'm going from the notebook to the computer. I'll read and edit on my computer. I usually print out a draft and edit on paper and then make those changes. I have a small group of people that I'll usually have read the book, my family members, a couple friends who I trust to read it, and they'll give me feedback. I'll debate whether I like it or not, make changes. And then when I sent it into this company, Beavers Pond Press, which is in St. Paul. They're a small publishing house, and started working with them. It feels like a long time ago now, but it's not really that long ago. In January of 2024.
Okay.
And then started the editing process from there. And so my editor then had the book for about 6 weeks to begin with, sent me back comments, edits. I made changes, sent it back to her. That process took us about 5 months for the first book. And then after she and I were done with it, it goes on to a proofreader, and they edit for all of the punctuation, grammar, spelling, sentence structure, those kinds of things. And then once they have, and I've agreed to those changes, then they send you a like faux copy of the book with no cover, and this is like the last chance edit. So you go through, and then you realize that on page 1 of chapter 4, you have a spelling error that has to be changed. And so you're like, no, one more change. I can't live with that spelling error. And then after this, then it goes to get the cover on, printed, sent out. So it's about a year process for the first book.
All right.
Now we think the second one might move a little bit quicker because we have like the font picked out and all that design stuff.
And you've got kind of like the base is built with the good first edition, right?
Yes.
So we're taking off from there. We're not reinventing the wheel.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Yep. So you went to some places to do your research. Can you tell us different places you visited?
I've been to Boston, which is excellent. I love Boston. If I were going to move from Minnesota, the Boston area would be definitely one I'd go to. So I've been on the Freedom Trail there. Paul Revere's house, Old North Church. I think one of my other favorite places is Fort Ticonderoga. I've been out there 2 different times. They have rebuilt the fort because it was left to go to ruin when it was no longer useful, but they've rebuilt the fort. They have reenactors who are there all the time they're making sails, they're making their own clothes, they're making shoes, they're training oxen, and so they keep it running like it would be on a daily basis. Whether the British, the French, or the Americans are in charge of the fort, it depends on what they're doing at the time. And they're doing the 250 stuff right now. So everything for them is what was happening here at Ticonderoga 250 years ago. But that's a great fort. They do great programming. love visiting there. Great
Yeah.
collection of stuff.
I'd like to touch on one last thing because this is like a piece that really interested me because
Yeah.
it's just creative. So and that's the ghost theme.
Yeah.
So first question is I'm curious, since this is historical fiction,
Mm.
did anybody push back on, well, you can't have ghosts in historical fiction?
No, they did not.
Okay, so good. They read that as creativity too, huh?
Yes, yep. And the ghosts were not in the very first draft.
Okay.
They came as because Whitley was being haunted by the things that had happened before.
Yeah.
And so one day I was like, well, what if they were just real ghosts instead of just being in her brain? So they were added at one point. My editor actually said she loved the ghosts and she needed them to do more.
Okay.
So between what I had sent her and what was printed, the ghosts got significantly more active.
Okay.
In what they were doing, how they interacted with Whitley, which I was super excited about.
Yeah.
I liked the ghosts.
So one last thing, and then is, to tantalize kids, come down to the library and pick up a copy of the book. What are some of the things that the ghosts are doing?
So the ghosts that haunt Whitley are people she knows that have died fighting in the Revolution, or in one case, a pre-Revolution related event. And the ghosts can possess her, which is dangerous for her, for them. They're nice ghosts.
Yeah.
This is not creepy Halloween movie ghosts, I guess, in that sense. But really, they try to help protect her.
Yep.
And try to help her out as she's trying to survive this war and treat the men.
Yeah, and some of them serve as a warning, right? They start popping up when something
things are
bad is
going
going to
wrong.
happen.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. So,
Well, I appreciate you coming in, and can you give one more plug for yourself and where kids can
sure.
find a copy of
Yes,
this? And
definitely.
because
So
it's definitely worth the read.
the library here at school has, I believe, 5 copies of Worthy of Trust, so you can check it out from them. The public library has a few copies, and if you really want to own your own, you can buy it online wherever books are sold.
So if I buy one online, can I come down to what room?
You can come to room 132. I'll gladly sign it.
And then it'll be worth even more.
Sure.
Right?
We'll pretend anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
Someday you can retire off of this.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.